Every year, millions of Canadian and American students in college and high school walk into literature classrooms where they fall in love with books and very quickly learn to hate poetry for the rest of their lives. Poetry is not like novels or science journals. It's more like painting. Visual art is a search for beauty in color and shape. Poetry is what happens when you look for it in words and sounds, with your ears instead of your eyes. But the way most of us experience poetry in class is specifically designed to turn something exciting and full of life into nothing more than dead words on paper. You can't read poetry silently. It's not a visual art form. It's meant to be spoken and heard, felt in the mouth and on the lips, vibrating against the ears and stimulating the heart and mind. When I was in college, the poetry reading class was mostly silent, and when it was spoken into the room, it would have been more lively if it had been performed by a robot. It's no wonder most of us learned poetry was boring, outdated, and irrelevant. It put us to sleep and drove us to distraction with its images on paper. My name is Avi, and I'm a poet and literature teacher. It's my goal not just to teach you to read poetry, but to love it. Not all of it, of course. Some you'll love and some you'll hate. But if you read a poem and it doesn't cause you to have a significant emotional reaction, it's simply not worth reading. It's okay not to like it. It's just not okay to feel nothing. I'll read you poetry, and sometimes I'll talk about poems. Some will be traditional and some contemporary. Most of it will be by poets whose names you should recognize. Others won't be, and you might find a new favorite, and I'll read you some from my recent collections. I hope you'll join me in exploring the sound and feeling of poetry and the beauty of the English language once it no longer has to be constrained by plot and character and setting. I love novels as much as anyone, and I spend a lot of my life reading and teaching about them. But poetry is the search for simple beauty in words, and I think our world desperately needs a bit more of that right about now, don't you?